Peace everyone, Unmask Art here, and today I'll be talking you through the process of creating an ambient candlelight scene using soft pastels and pastel pencils. But first, don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials just like this. And if you'd like to watch the full live tutorial version of this project, you can get that over on my Patreon page. I live stream projects like this every Tuesday and Thursday, so if you'd like to join in on the live tutorial sessions, I'll have a link for that in the video description. Now before I begin, let me tell you what supplies I am using. The paper I am working on is Clairefontaine Pastel Mat, which has been my go-to paper for pastels for a long time. It's a rather expensive paper, but well worth it. For the pastels, I am using my Schmincke pastels and Carbothello pencils for this project. Carbothellos remain one of my favorite brands for pastel pencils. I almost use them exclusively, they are so nice. Alright, getting into the actual painting now. After I have my sketch drawn onto my paper, I use masking film to cover the candles. The brand of masking film I use is called Frisket. Then I begin filling in the background. This project came about because I have had several requests from patrons to do something that involved fire, so without trying something too complex, I went with a couple candles. While live streaming this tutorial on Patreon, I was happy to hear a few of the viewers at the time having aha moments as I explained the strategy of creating the illusion of light. I think one of the most surprising aspects of the tutorial was the absence of coloring the flame itself. Hopefully, as I had time to reflect on this project, I can explain the idea behind the illusion we created on this project briefly. The basis of creating light is a bit counterintuitive. You see, ever since we were young, drawing pictures to hang on our fridge, we always reached for the yellow crayon to draw our sun in the sky. Everyone associates yellow with the sun. However, it's not that the sun is yellow, it's that the light emitted from the sun appears yellow. We see the effects of the yellow light that comes from the sun and therefore falsely attribute the color to the sun. This is very similar to the flame of a candle or to the lamp in your room. When faced with a subject or scene that involves a light of some kind, we often think, how do I draw this light? Well, the answer is actually trivially easy. You don't. That's right, you don't draw the light. Now, later in this project you might finally believe me, but for now, let me try to explain, so that you might get the same moment where it clicks and makes sense. You see, it all comes down to one basic concept. Light is not an object that can be drawn, painted, or colored. Light is an illusion. The glow you will see from the candles in this painting here, when it's done, isn't coming from the flame. I didn't apply a magical light-colored pastel to make it glow. Instead, I focus purely on what the light affects. I omit the source of the light and focus on what the light is doing to the environment it reaches. During the actual live stream, I mentioned staring at a light bulb. If you were to look into a light source lighting up your room, it would appear pure white. I don't recommend actually staring into your light, though mentioning it, you might have already regrettably done so. But I asked the viewers at the time, how would you draw your light? It's just pure white emptiness. Well, the answer is obvious. You don't. There's nothing there to color. So the only logical strategy is to focus on the surroundings that the light affects, and that is how it's done. Now, it's far easier said than done, but understanding is the first and most important step. Either way, I hope I was able to help you develop a better understanding than what you had before this video. Before moving on to filling in the candles, I want to mention that if Patreon is not your thing, but you're still interested in learning soft pastels, I have some pastel courses you can get over on my website. They've been enjoyed by hundreds, and I'm sure you'll find them helpful. So if you are interested, I'll have a link to the courses in the description also. Now, the last section of this project is just coloring the candles. Here I use the Carbothello pencils to finish the painting. And as you can imagine, I focus on capturing the colors as they appear as a result of the effects the candlelight has on them. By the time you're watching this video, I would have already begun a new pastel project tutorial, and it will continue this theme of lighting, as it was requested, except the scale of difficulty has been increased to the degree of adding a portrait to the subject matter. But if you stick around for a while, you'll see another tutorial like this one once I'm finished with that project. Alright everyone, here is the finished pastel painting. I hope you enjoyed this project and learned something along the way. Please give it a thumbs up and a share for me. Leave a comment or a question below, and if you want to learn more from me, you can do that by joining me on Patreon, where you get to see these projects live every Tuesday and Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials just like this. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.